Always wanted to be a businessman and entrepreneur. It's always been something I wanted to do, to own my own business and to build something for myself. At 16, I just wanted to make extra money. Didn't want to rely on my parents so much. Phoned the shop and I spoke to Roland and he said he could come start working. When I was managing comics, I really wanted to take it over. Then I started hearing Roland wanted to sell it. Probably about May last year, one of your agents, Weston, we were in the voting queue together. And he came to me and he said, hey, I don't know, you heard comics is up for sale. Did some research and I realized it was. The opportunities come, you must take them. They don't always last forever. Sometimes it's a brief moment that the opportunity is there. It's about having that balance, that having a good life will then carry over into your business, you know.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Thoughtonomy Podcast, where we like you to think for yourself in a world that wants to do it for you. And I'm welcoming my guest, Matt Peterson. He sees me every day, 3 times a day, sometimes ordering my food. He's the owner of Comics. Very well-known restaurant in the North Durban area. And we're going to chat to Matt about his journey. But I think first, as I always do, welcome.
How's it going?
Tell everybody out there, who's Matt Peterson?
Yeah, my name's Matthew. A local guy from Durban, went to Northwood. I'm 24 years old. And the owner of Comics took over a year ago. Today, actually, it's for
really? Congratulations!
A year today.
Awesome.
Just trying to build a future for myself. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. And you've done an amazing job, and we're going to get into it now. But I think why don't we go just a couple of steps back? A year ago, did you ever imagine this is what you were going to be doing? Like, what were you doing pre-comics?
Well,
because life's just getting going for you, right?
Yeah. Pre-comics, I was still in school, actually. I started working at comics in grade 11.
Yeah.
I fell in love with it, dealing with people, the food. I'm a big foodie, and I love serving people as well.
Okay.
I just took off from there. So I just worked there as a waiter, became the manager. And then last year I got the opportunity to take it over. Took it.
Yeah, and it is a restaurant that's been well known in the area for many, many years. And the founder, Roland, he'd done it for many, many years.
Yeah.
Just so everyone has a bit of context, the restaurant actually sits in the same building that I have my Remax offices.
Yeah.
And we've watched the restaurant move from original owner to new owner to Matt. And I think today's episode is going to be really, really nice for young people to listen to. I always say when you get into your 20s, that's when you start getting into life. Yeah. You don't have to know what you want to do in your 20s. And I say this to my kids. Your 20s is when you can experiment. You can experiment with stuff. You can test out things. You can try different passions. But from what I'm hearing you say there is from the days that you used to work there as a waiter and manager, there was something about restaurants and food that sparked was this a passion of yours?
Yeah, I kind of fell into it. At 16, I just wanted to make extra money.
Yeah.
Didn't want to rely on my parents so much. So I phoned the shop and I spoke to Roland and he said he could come start working. And then over the years, I just fell in love with it. And that's when the passion kind of ignited and I realized this is something I'm good at and I enjoy. Yeah. Why not take it and build a career? Is it the
food? Is it the people? The serving the people? What is it exactly?
I think it's a bit of everything. When I started there, it was just to make some money, and then it built into the relationships I got with the customers, and that it carried through in other aspects of my life.
Yeah.
And then the food, as I got a bit older and learned to cook more different meals and that's when I really fell in love with the food side of it. Okay. And that's something I did when I took over, is trying to put some of my own inspiration onto the menu, to try and do something different.
Fantastic. So if you weren't doing this, what would Matt be doing?
I'm not sure. I enjoy...
Did you have any other dreams or ambitions or things that you wanted to do when you were coming out of school, for example?
Not really. I always wanted to be a businessman and entrepreneur.
Okay, cool.
That's something I knew from a young age. Yeah. But, at a young age, you don't know where you're going to go or what type of business you're going to get into. It just ended up happening here. But I think it's always been something I wanted to do, to own my own business and to build something for myself.
I think a lot of youngsters come out of school now. I mean, you're probably on social media, I assume. Now. Entrepreneurship is like this cult following almost now. It's like
grown
everyone
so
wants to be an entrepreneur. And
Yeah.
you've got these high-profile figures like your Gary V's and your Grant Cardones and your Elon Musks.
Yeah.
And I think what a lot of us, even myself included, because I remember in my 20s when I was in London, as much as I was in corporate jobs in London, I also was always thinking, I want to have my own business. I want to have my own business. But my 20s turned into my early 30s, and it was like, but where's the opportunity?
Yeah.
Where is the actual opportunity? It's one thing to say you want to run a business, but then you get an opportunity. You got to jump at it.
Yeah, that's something I realized. Everyone tells you life presents you opportunities, you take them. And the way this opportunity happened was, it's really amazing.
Yeah, tell us how it came about, because I think you had left comics.
Yeah, so
it had been taken over by a new owner, and then how did you get to that place where you were like, because you went in with your dad's your business partner, and we'll talk about him later. What was that moment? Was it you going, "Hey, Dad, I think we should do this," or did Dad come to you, and how did it work?
So when I was managing comics, I really wanted to take it over. Then I started hearing Roland wanted to sell it. At the time, it wasn't a feasible option for me. I didn't have the funds and that, so Roland sold it on. And then probably about May last year, one of your agents, Weston, we were in the voting queue together. And he came to me and he said, "Hey, I don't know, you heard comics is up for sale?" I said, "No, I haven't." And I dug and did some research, and I realized it was. So I went to my dad and I said, "Dad, I know you might not like it, but this is what I'm going to do. Would you like to help me or not?"
Yeah.
He said he would be very keen to do it.
And what does your old man do? What is his?
He's a financial advisor.
Okay.
Yeah, so
perfect mentor for you. Jeez.
He's taught me from a young age the value of investing and using your money wisely. So when I went to him, I said, "Dad, there's a good opportunity here. I know the ropes. I've been there before.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing to do, and it seems to be working so far."
Yeah. And we talk about opportunity, and we won't speak too much about the changeover from one owner to another. But I want to just say, like, it's not uncommon for a founder who is passionate about his baby, his business, to run a business for so many years. There are statistics to show that even passing a business to children
makes a difference.
They don't have the same passion.
Yeah.
So it is quite common that a business that is founded and run by an owner is then sold to someone who maybe doesn't. I'm not saying this the previous owner didn't, but you obviously saw that comics from the beginning was not comics from what you remembered it to be. Was that the opportunity that you saw?
Yeah, for sure. When I was working at comics, a lot of the customers would see me and they would say, "Oh, you comics."
Okay.
And at the time I wasn't. I was just working there.
Yeah.
And then there was quite a bit of a financial downturn in the business once the business was sold from founder to a new owner, just like you say.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized, there was nothing wrong per se with the business. I know what it was capable of and where it can be. And then I think just my love for having worked there translated into now wanting to take it over and taking that opportunity and then realizing the potential, because there was a lot of potential in the business, and I've tried to realize that over the last year. We've managed to get the books good again. Things are going well. Revenue's up about 50% from when we took over.
Yeah.
So there's definitely growth that's happening.
How are the nerves when you made the decision?
To be honest, it wasn't so nerve-wracking. Okay. I was quite confident in the decision, something I'd thought about for a long time, prayed about a lot. So it felt almost natural for me. That it was like the next step in my life. Surprisingly, I wasn't so nervous.
Yeah.
I'm more nervous for the podcast.
Well, you'll figure this out very quickly. This is quite easy. and day one. So let's go to day one.
Yeah, a year
comics
ago.
Is yours. I mean, you obviously must have been ecstatic when the deal went through.
Yeah.
So day one, you walk in. It's probably the same staff that you remember.
Yes, kitchen staff was all the same.
What were your like immediate goals to turn around or to focus on when you walked in on day one?
I think for me, the main thing was the service and the quality of food. A lot of the customers I'd spoken to said that the food quality had faltered a little bit. And having worked there, I knew all the original suppliers, so it was easy to go back to them and chat to them, having known me before.
Okay.
So that was my first focus. Also the service, getting it to the level I was happy with.
Yeah.
But also just small touches, just to make the place look a bit more opening and welcoming. And that's what I found was more successful, just doing small changes within the business that, didn't cost much or didn't take much time, but that's had the most impact on it.
Yeah. And did you notice immediate response from clientele, or was there a period where you were going, oof?
No, it was pretty instant. The first day I had a big sign made up, Comics is under new ownership. I put it on the corner of the road, posted it on Facebook, and then the replies just started coming through that people were very happy and can't wait to come back and try it out again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Let's talk quickly about the role of your father as a mentor.
Yeah.
I always say to people who go into partnerships, and this is a partnership.
Yeah.
Whether it's I was in a partnership with my family, so I understand it.
Yeah, it is.
The people you go into partnership, it's not just about money. So a lot of people will go into a partnership because they need capital.
Yeah.
And they'll go into a partnership with someone for the money,
Yeah.
but it can be a total abomination. It can be a
course.
disaster. So we always say it always needs to be more, the partner needs to add more than just money more
for
value
sure.
than just money. How is the relationship with your dad as business partners, and where has he guided you as a mentor?
So for the business partner side, it was a no-brainer for me to go in it with my dad. A lot of times I like to think I'm capable of doing everything on my own.
Of course.
But for a decision like this, I need to have a balanced view and to remain grounded, and he always helps me to do that. So, we went in together 50-50, and it wasn't just to bring in, like you say, the money, it was to just bring in some older advice and some wisdom from experience,
Yeah.
And he runs his own business as well from the finance side, so I could use a lot of his knowledge there.
Yeah.
And we went in together. The relationship, when we went in, I said, Dad, I've always heard these stories that, you don't go into business with family or friends and that.
It's a generalization, though.
Yeah, exactly.
There are examples where it works, but when it doesn't,
it's very
that's
messy.
what starts the generalization.
Yeah. It's been great, we've had to learn how to work with each other, which is obviously different to a normal father-son relationship, but it's been good. We understand each other very well. He understands me exceptionally well. So, if I'm stressed or whatever, he knows when to pull me in and how to talk to me and that, which is good.
I think the biggest part of any partnership, especially when you're in a partnership with a family member, husband, wife, whatever it may be, brother, sister, is understanding that you are able to have conflict.
Yeah.
You are able to disagree.
Yeah.
And the thing with conflict, and I've said it on one of the previous podcasts, is if you have conflict that's founded on trust, then conflict's possible.
Yeah.
When you don't have trust with another person, you won't speak.
Yeah.
And I know I've been very fortunate in my business. I also bought in at about 26, 27. I got half the business. And I was very fortunate. My dad kind of pissed off from day one. He was like always on the phone, but he was not here. I had my mom around. But if I go back, I don't think there's been many times where I've ever argued with my parents over the business. And there was one time where I had to stand up to my dad. And it was quite a challenge.
Yeah.
But that's when I realized this lesson is I can stand up to my dad. I can express a different opinion because it's founded on a fundamental belief of what's made the business good.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, he's still my dad. And that's the trust. He'll always be my dad.
Yeah.
And if he'll listen to this one day, I won the argument. But that was me realizing, okay, you've actually matured enough now in this business to know that you can make decisions. Yeah. And just because your dad thinks you're wrong, it doesn't mean you have to keep quiet.
Yeah. That's something I've realized, and I actually messaged him about a month ago just to say that I love the relationship that we have, that we can disagree and have a bit of conflict, but at the end of the day, we still got our relationship there. Just like you say, it's that the end goal is that both of us do well, and I think he wants the best for me and I want the best for us, and for him.
Yeah.
And doing that together, like you say, when it's that foundation of trust is there, it allows that conflict to happen, and not a messy conflict, it's a conflict that is working towards the same goal.
Yeah.
So it's always, growing up, it's hard to not to have a different, to challenge your father.
We don't challenge our parents because they guide us and teach us
exactly
our whole lives,
But having had these disagreements with him and either being wrong or right in different ways, it's shown me that our relationship is evolving and maturing.
And credit to your dad as well. And I say this with respect. I mean, I know you know that I coach people, and I've had a few instances where I've coached a child of the parent business owner, and it's almost like the parent asks the child to come to me for coaching, but I always make it very clear, like, are you giving your child permission to make decisions and to run with it, or is everything that happens in our sessions going to have to be run by you?
True,
because then there's no point in me coaching.
Of course.
And some parents do hold on to businesses, and if your dad's giving you that freedom to go out and be a business owner, you will learn so much more from your mistakes. Not that you're going to make many, okay?
But it teaches you more.
Yeah, it teaches you so much more.
That was something that he said. He's always told me he never would own a restaurant. Never.
Careful what you wish for.
So his whole life he said that, and when we took over, he said, Matt, I'm going to be silent. I'll help you with advice and doing things if you need to go away or not here, but you run the business. It's your baby. You look after it. I'm here when you need me. And that's been important to me because, like I say, I like to do things myself, and I'm quite, when I focus and get on a task, I like to do it. So he's allowed me that freedom as well. Going into it, we had that understanding that it's within reason, but it's I run the operations and everything like that, and he just guides me. And you will evolve as a leader and a business owner every year that you do this. If I'd say to you right now, like, what are some of the key principles or values that you stand by as a leader, what would you say those are right now? I think it's a mutual respect, having respect for your employees and your staff. Something I like to do is I always say to the staff, if I say something like, it's not that you're doing it wrong, but if I give you guidance on a way or we disagree, it's nothing like that, but I'll also compliment you on the other side. So I'll give you both sides. Don't take it, personally. I like to to give compliments, and you direct the staff well.
Okay. There's one thing I noticed, and I want to give you credit for it. Obviously, I've watched the journey of comics from one owner to the second, and now to you. And I think there was a moment where it upticked with our staff here. And I mean, just context for everyone listening, I've got 70 real estate agents. They're not always here, but if they are, they're going to get their food from comics.
They're always there.
And there was a time when they weren't going there. But there was a moment where we do our annual Christmas lights. We decorate the building with Christmas lights, and we do an evening for our staff where they bring their kids and their grandkids, and Father Christmas comes and all the kids get a gift. And I went to Matt, and I said to Matt, we're doing this. They all bring in their own alcohol, but obviously they'll come in and buy from you. And on your own free will, I don't ask you, I don't know if you remember, you offered to sponsor or donate hamburgers. And I said, thanks, Matt, that's amazing, but we do boerewors rolls, and one of my agents bras, and that's his thing, and the guys love their boerewors rolls. Thank you so much. And then you said, well, can I give every child that comes a free ice cream or a milkshake? And that act of giving, I think, triggered an amazing response back, and shifted them back to comics. And I always say, as a leader, when you give first, it's you give. There's an element of giving in order to give back. And I just think that one act of generosity, because you came to me the next day, you said you had your best night ever that night, because everyone was piling into comics. They were coming.
Once your drinks ran out, they came and bought
They were
mine.
coming to get their free ice creams for the kids, but they were buying alcohol and they were buying food from you.
It was the best night since I've had a few other better nights since then. But that was the first night I said, wow, this is something.
Do you recognize now the act of leadership and business acumen that you did? And I'm not sitting at going, you must give us stuff. I'm just because when you offered that to us, of course, the first thing I do is I email all the staff. I say, hey guys, lovely announcement. Matt's very kindly offered. So tell your kids when they come, here's your vouchers. I worked for Disney for 4 years of my life in the UK. and I worked on finance in the marketing department. Do you know that our best marketing trigger was giving out £20 coupons?
Sure.
So you're basically giving someone £20 if they spend X amount or more.
Yeah.
And what we used to do is we used to monitor the average guest spend. So in Disney, your clients were guests. So the staff are cost and the clients are guests. So the average guest spend was a number that was monitored in every store in the Disney store in the UK. And if they wanted to shift it from, say, average guest spend of £20 to £25, they'd run one of these voucher promotions. Wow. And then we'd monitor the results based on the vouchers. So, for example, if you're giving somebody £10 off if they spend £20 or more, they would never spend 20.
Yeah.
They would spend 30 to 40.
So spending more.
So the £10 shifted them, and it would shift the average guest spend up. So the coupon voucher thing, it works. It really does work.
Interesting, yeah.
So if you even if you're going, come for a breakfast, get a free coffee, or you're bringing them in on the concept of getting something for free, but once they're there, they're bringing themselves and their friends, and they probably end up spending more as well. It's
you often lead with a loss-making item to bring people into the restaurant, and then you have your extras around that. And that's definitely what it is. It's also about someone comes with their friend, and their friend brings another friend next time, and it grows exponentially.
And there's a vibe about that place. Like,
you
get a lot of people on a Friday. The businesses come with all their colleagues, and there's a nice vibe there. So what are your kind of plans? Do you have any plans or goals where you want to take it? Do you set goals and targets?
Yeah, so the next thing is there's a few more things I want to do in the shop to up the standard. We're getting all the wallpaper redone, fresh paint and that, just to keep it updated. So those are the short-term things. And long-term, in the next year or two, I'd like to look at opening up another store.
Okay.
I'd just like to grow it. And long term, a friend of mine and I, he's a chef in the UK actually. So we're going to combine our skills together, and we're going to look at different restaurants as well. So we're going to try get the whole market from one low end to the high end, and we're going to try to do that together. So that's our long term plan.
So this is your thing, eh? You said you're a foodie.
Yeah.
Do you cook or you taste?
A bit of both.
Okay.
But I love to cook, yeah.
So restaurants is going to be your thing?
I think so, yeah. And hospitality, it's not just about the food, and then it's just I like serving people, and then, I think food is a good way. Everyone needs to eat, and when you have a good meal, it really brings people together. There's, breaking bread together, eating and talking.
Yeah.
It does something for people. So I like to be able to do that, not just from the food, but, interacting with them and giving them the best service we can.
No, that's amazing, and I know it's going to be hugely successful for you. And as I say, we've seen how it started, so I wish you all the best. Just one little bit of advice to the 20-year-old or the 21-year-old who's listening, and who's got those thoughts of, I want to be an entrepreneur. What would you say?
I think if the opportunities come, you must take them. They don't always last forever. Sometimes it's a brief moment that the opportunity is there. But also, don't be so stressed. When I started it, I was so stressed about it, and I realized, it's not worth stressing about it to such an extent.
Yeah.
So don't take it too seriously. At the same time, you got your business to run, but you also got a life to live. So it's about having that balance, that having a good life will then carry over into your business.
Amazing. Yeah. I couldn't have said that better myself. Matt, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed it. I hope you're feeling a little more relaxed now. It was not too bad. Eh?
No.
I know you've got a copy.
Yes.
I'm going to give you another copy as a gift. So
cool.
Thank you. If you're not going to read it, you've got yours. Give it to somebody. And to all the people out there, if you're interested in a copy of the book, thoughtonomybook.co.za. Matt, how do people find you on social media?
Yeah, we've got Facebook and Instagram. It's Comics Food Bar. We've got our website as well. And we're just launching in the next month an online ordering through our website.
Okay.
Yeah, so that'll be coming soon.
So big things to come.
Yes, sir.
Well, we wish you all the best, and thank you once again for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure. We'll see you next time, guys.